Most French toast is sad and soggy, but this one tastes like creme brulee, looks like dessert, and makes breakfast more fun than you ever thought possible. Great French toast will all start with a nice foundation, and that all comes down to the bread that you choose. I prefer brioche. When it comes to making French toast, it's very easy for French toast to get way too soggy and way too floppy. So what I'll do is measure out 1 1/4 inch slices. The next step here is to dry our bread, and this step is very, very important. I'll tell you why. When making French toast, drying out this bread keeps it from getting soft and mushy. This is going to go straight into the oven at 285 Fahrenheit to dry out for about 10 minutes per side. While our brioche is drying out in the oven, let's move on to make our custard. I'll start by adding some milk to a small pot, and then I'll turn my heat to low, and then we're going to make what's called an infusion by adding in a little bit of star anise, a few cardamom pods, 1 cinnamon stick, a couple cloves, a little vanilla bean paste, a little bit of orange zest, and last but not least, a little pinch of salt. Once I've brought in all my aromatics, I'll bring my heat up to medium, low, and start to whisk. We'll know our infusion is done once the milk starts to gently bubble right at the edges, or if an instant read thermometer reaches 190 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to make something now that's called a sabayon. And really, all it is the other half of our custard, which is going to combine with that milk to make an incredible kind of batter for our bread. To begin, I'm going to separate out 6 egg yolks, and add in some sugar, and then start to whisk. The goal here is to get it almost light and fluffy, at least much lighter in color than it is right now. It almost looks now more like the silky consistency of a pancake batter. It's a pretty good sign that you're done. Set this off to the side, and then grab my milk mixture so that we can finish up our custard. Now that all this has been infused, I'm going to fish these all out. Watch carefully on this next step. I'm going to slowly start pouring in that milk while I whisk. By doing this slowly, I'm going to gradually bring up the temperature of this mixture here without cooking what's inside. Let's jump back over here now. Take your dried brioche, drop it into the custard, and start your timer. We'll let it soak for 30 seconds per side. No more, no less. Look at how good that looks. I'm now going to grab some clarified butter and spread a generous amount onto my griddle. We're going to sprinkle a bit of sugar over each piece of our French toast right before we put it down onto the griddle. Put it down right over a bunch of that clarified butter and give it a quick press, just like cooking a steak. Same thing in the middle, then just let it set. And I'm going to be bold and try to do 3 at once this time. I think this one's ready to flip. Oh, boom. Look at that. That's a winner right there. Best one so far. Pull this off. At this point, you may be very hungry and want to eat your French toast right away, but there is one last very important step, and that's to cook the rest of the custard on the center of that French toast. So with one last quick bake, we make sure that it's fully set in the middle. Bake it at 300 for about 10 minutes, and then to plate with my fresh berries, a nice drizzle of maple syrup, top it all off with some of my homemade whipped cream, a nice dusting of powdered sugar, then one last dusting of orange zest, and to finish it all off, a little pinch of salt. And that is how you make French toast.